She just found out that she is his backup date.
What?
Backup date. So she's not a starter. She's a backup.
She coming off the bench for the date?
Coming off the bench for the date.
Second string.
Yes. All right, Dobby's got the email.
Help me with a dilemma here. I admit I don't always have the best self-esteem. I've been working on that a lot and working on knowing my worth.
Go, Queen.
However, sometimes I also know that I'm really sensitive about this and sometimes overreact in an effort to protect myself. Hold the phone. Where did you guys get this page out of my diary? Tommy? Who's responsible? Oh, okay. I often get carried away and become extremely rigid and protective of myself. Oftentimes, it ends up being unnecessary and harmful to situations. I could spend all morning talking to you about it, but that's what my therapist is for. Since I tend to talk her ear off, I think I have a general idea what she'd tell me in this situation, but I'd like to know if you would give me similar advice or have the same opinion. So, I've been hanging out with Chad for about 2 weeks. We both work together. He's a bartender where I work. He started working there about 6 months ago, and I had a crush on him immediately. I've tried flirting with him multiple times at work and also when we all hang out outside of work, and my attempts always fell flat, until a few weeks ago. Suddenly, he seemed to be returning my interest. One thing led to another, and we've been hanging out for a couple of weeks. I really liked him and was thrilled. However, a couple of other guys I work with were messing with me the other night, and they were trying to annoy me while we were all drinking after work, and they were kind of teasing me, and they let it slip that Chad was interested in another one of the servers I work with. When she was uninterested and blew him off, he started paying attention to me. Basically, it's a well-known fact at work that I'm his backup. I was instantly offended. My first instinct was to say F him and break it off with him. Then I tried to be more logical and realized that there's nothing wrong with him having another romantic interest that didn't work out. Maybe it's ego or maybe I'm embarrassed, but I'm being referred to as his backup, and I'm having a real hard time being okay with it. So, do I just ditch this entire situation for one where I'm not second choice, or do I stick it out and try to prove that I'm the best choice, even if I wasn't the first choice? Audrey.
And having worked in the server industry and like that dynamic and people, like it took me back.
Yeah.
Because you end up dating. I mean, I dated a manager, dated a server, dated a bartender. Like we keep it in the family.
Yep.
It's really, it's sad, but it's true. So in this instance, don't let what these other guys say affect how you feel and the decisions that you make. These guys are D-bags calling you the backup, and they're being D-bags. I personally would continue to date the bartender. Like, we've all been somebody's backup at some point in time because it didn't work out with somebody else. It's okay if it doesn't work out with somebody else and then they go on to date somebody else at work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's perfectly, especially in the server world, that happens all the time. It doesn't mean you're a backup. It just means the two of them weren't a match and he's now interested in you. And maybe some qualities he saw in her that he didn't like are the qualities he sees in you that he does like. So just because these D-bags are calling you a backup, don't sit here and ditch a dude because of what other guys are saying and what they're calling you. Don't let them have that power. That's how I feel.
In theory, yes, you are right. This does happen to everybody. You are someone's backup at some point, somehow, some way. However, the way my pride is set up, this would be a little too close for comfort to me. The fact that like you liked someone where we work and had me as a side option just in case that didn't work out would always kind of ring in my mind and make me feel like I like you more than you like me. And I wouldn't be able to do it for that reason.
But how do we know she was a side option?
Because he wanted the other lady.
But they dated. Maybe they dated and he realized he didn't like her and now he wants to date her.
But that's not what happened.
I don't think so.
But we don't know if that's what happened.
Well, I think if either of these two guys that told you were the backup are an option, they're probably crushing on you. Like
they could be hating.
They're clearly not friends of Chad's to be telling you that information. So they probably have a crush on you and they're giving you a little bit of information. And that's probably something that they've teased Chad about too. Be like, oh, you got your backup girl, you know, the one that's been like following you around for weeks. And Chad's probably like, shut up, you guys. I really like her.
Exactly.
That could be it. Mm-hmm. But I just, like you said, took me back to server days.
Yeah.
Don't date anyone you work with. Run away from Chad, from those two guys, if your manager looks at you twice, run away. Like all of it, just stay far away. That's my opinion.
At least not go to another restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to date Chad, go across the street and work at Ruby Tuesdays.
Why? Why did we always, the restaurant we worked at, instead of going somewhere else, we stayed at the establishment we worked at to drink with the friends we see every day, all day long?
Well,
That is a thing.
I had a red card at TGI Fridays, so I got 50% off my any meal.
Y'all did?
So, yeah.
They didn't give us anything.
I used that card for like years after I didn't work there anymore. I was at like
mad
a
at
TGI,
you.
I was at a
Hey, if it
TGI
worked, that ain't
Fridays
your
in
fault.
Ohio, and the guy was like, "We called your restaurant. You haven't worked there in a long time," and they like cut it up in front of me.
Wow.
It was so mean.
That's so dramatic.
It was so dramatic. I was like, "Am I not? I thought in here we were family. Fridays is family,
Not
or is that
anymore.
Olive Garden?
That's Olive Garden.
That's Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What the hell?
You had the wrong motto for your job. You didn't care at all.
I really did.
That is so harsh. That's
know, it
not
was
something.
mean.
And here it's always supposed to be Friday. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
don't do
supposed to be
that.
Friday.
Yes.
It's supposed to have
That's,
fun here.
That's the motto.
That's the one.
They're not
I got
treating
the F's mixed up.
Family Friday,
Family
whatever.
Friday.
The Bert Show.